Hey guys, it's Jeff from Pressure Luck, and oh, is it soup season? Oh, it makes me so excited because I love soups. I love soups. Soupy, soupy, soupy. I feel like super duper because we're going to be making a soup that is a variation of a classic. Now, you've heard of a minestrone or a minestrone soup, an Italian one, which is essentially a vegetable soup with pasta in it. Cute little pasta, and I have a fabulous recipe for that. But as the holidays are starting to get all around and everything, I wanted to do something different. I always said to myself, what would it be like to take a minestrone, but leave out the tomato situation, and then add a creamy base touch thing to it at the end, making it a white minestrone-y soup. What do you think? And I was like, you know what, I'm gonna try that today. And let me tell you something. You're all in for something absolutely super. Pun intended. You're gonna see for yourself. So as the season is upon us and everything is chaotic, take a moment and give yourself some peace with some white minestrone soup that is so easy to do. You can literally just put it in the pot, push a button, and then deal with the chaos, and then come back and have another nice break from it when you slurp it yourself. So let's go right to the Instant Pot and make some minestrone like you've never known until now. White minestrone! I'm just gonna go with minestrone and minestrone, by the way, because I can rhyme both with other different things. All right, you'll see. Let's do it. So the first thing I wanna do is I wanna add in 4 tablespoons, that's a half a stick, of salted butter to the Instant Pot. Alright, so I'm going to come down to my Instant Pot and hit the saute button and make sure I'm on the more or high setting. If your model has a start button, hit that. If it doesn't, after a few seconds of doing nothing, it'll go into the function. Alright, once the butter's melted and bubbling, I now want to add in a little trifecta here, or something actually called a mirepoix, and that's a combination of onion, carrot, and celery. It's French. In this case, I'm using 2 large shallots that I've diced, 2 large carrots that I've peeled, slice into discs about a 1/4 inch thick, and then quarter each of those. And then about 3 ribs of celery that I just sliced like this into about 1/4 inch slices. Add that to the butter in the pot, and I'm gonna saute the mirepoix in the butter for about 5 minutes. Get them just slightly warmed up here. And then this creates the fragrant base for this amazing soup. Okay, and after about 5 minutes of sauteing my veggies in the butter, I'm gonna add about 6 cloves or 2 tablespoons of crushed or minced garlic. And saute that for 1 minute more. Alright, so now that we got our veggies sauteing, going nicely in there, it's time to start giving this soup a soup treatment. Let's add, this is optional, a half a cup of a dry white wine like a Sauvignon Blanc or Chardonnay. You don't have to add wine if you don't want to. If you don't drink wine, that's just fine. We're actually now going to add in 5½ cups of a broth of your choice. I'm using garlic broth for this. If you are not going to use the wine, use 6 cups of the broth. So all in all, we're using 6 cups of liquid. Easy fix. The wine just gives it a slightly nice extra additional layer of depth in the flavor. Definitely not a deal breaker. And now I'm going to season my broth with 2 teaspoons each of, you can either use seasoned salt, I use Lowry seasoned salt, or Tony Chachere's Creole seasoning is what I also use. It's like a spicier seasoned salt. I love it for this. 2 teaspoons of that, 2 teaspoons of Italian seasoning, and 1 teaspoon of dried thyme, and a half a teaspoon of black pepper. I'm also going to add in 2 15½ ounce cans of beans. I'm using red kidney and cannellini beans that I've just drained and rinsed through this little sieve. I'm going to add that to the pot. And now I'm going to add in between 10 to 12 ounces of a frozen bag or box of cut green beans. That in there. If you notice, I'm not putting any tomatoes in this soup because that'll turn it red, and this is all about a white minestrone. Think of it as like the New England clam chowder versus a Manhattan clam chowder, but for minestrone soup. Or minestrone. And then, of course, it's time to add our pasta. In this situation, I'm using 1 cup worth. I know it doesn't seem like a ton, but believe me, it's going to expand. 1 cup worth of ditalini, and it's these short little tubes, but you can also use a pipette or mini shells. I would suggest any of those. And now I'm gonna give it all a good old-fashioned stir. Stir everything up in that pot, and then I'm gonna top it off with 5 ounces of baby spinach, or regular spinach, either one's fine. And the spinach is gonna look like it's gonna come to the brim of the pot pretty much, and that's perfectly normal. It's gonna cook down into absolutely nothing. Don't stir in the spinach, just leave it on top. And now, we're ready to pressure cook. I'm gonna secure my lid Make sure that I'm in the sealing position. All right, now we're gonna come back down to the control panel and hit the cancel button, followed by the pressure cooker manual button, and we wanna go for 5 minutes at high pressure, and that's all you gotta do. And now that we're done pressure cooking, we're gonna finish this off with a quick release. All right, the pin drop, which means all the pressure has been released from the pot, making it safe to open the lid. So let's do that. And see, I told you that spinach will have cooked down to nothing. Let's give it all a good stir, and oh yeah, look at how hearty this soup is looking. Beautiful. But we're not done yet. We have our final finishing touches to really make this a white minestrone, or minestrone. First up, we want to put a touch of an herb cheese in there, and you could use something like an alouette, a boursin, a package of it. Any flavor will work, and I will also link where you can make your own and save a ton of money doing that. I also want to add in 1 cup of heavy cream or half and half. Either will do just fine. That's really going to make this soup white, as well as a half a cup of grated Parmesan. And now I'm going to stir that all up into the soup. And I just want to keep on stirring, and now it's a true white minestrone. And keep stirring until all the herb cheese is melded into it. This will take about a minute. And look at the soup. The colors are so vibrant. They really pop against the backdrop of the white broth. And here we have it, my friends. A loaded, super hearty white minestrone soup. No tomatoes, again, because that's going to make it kind of a reddish color, and we're going to leave it out. Again, if you want the red, just go with a classic minestrone. But if you want it this way, well, then there you go. There's a different variation for you. I'm going to ladle this into a bowl and serve it up. And there's my beautiful soup all ladled into a bowl. There's everything there. You have the pasta, the beans, the celery, the carrots, the shallots have melted into nothing, the spinach. It's all there. But of course, garnish it up a little bit with one of these little cheese twisties. Why not? It's gonna be fun to dunk in there and everything. It's almost like a magic wand. Poof! When you eat it. All right, now let's try this out. Okay, my friends, and here it is. My white minestrone. And let's see how it's gonna be. Richard's already in the background. Here we go. It's a completely different experience from a classic minestrone, a red one, because without tomatoes in here and with the addition of the creamy elements, it's practically, the best way to describe it, it's sensational. It's like a chicken and dumplings, but a vegetarian version of it, because there's no chicken in it, but extra vegetables to make up for it. Hang on, now I gotta try this thing. Whether you have a cheesy twisting or some breaded dunk in this soup, or if you're watching the carbs, well, there's pasta in it, but don't worry about it. It's gonna be so good no matter what, even on its own. I'm telling you, this white minestrone, it sings like Patti LuPone. All right, and that's some serious singing right there. I love my white minestrone, it's minestrone, Jeffrey. Who knows how she would say it, but I love her. Who doesn't love her? Come on. All right, Richard, I know he's hovering over, he wants to try it.
I have to say this.
Give it a shot, but it's very hot.
Oh wow.
What do you think?
It's super good. I can taste like there's like a combined vegetable, like wonderful like vegetable flavor, but you can still like distinguish each vegetable in it, which is like really nice.
That's a good point. You really can distinguish each of them. The carrots and the celery are like, have a nice al dente touch to them. We don't want to cook them too long there because we don't want the pasta to become mush in there. The pasta's cooked perfectly alongside it. It's just a really great combination of everything. And it's funny because one really wouldn't think of a vegetable soup as a creamy one, right? And normally it's not a creamy situation going on for the vegetable soups. This one, it's incredible.
I think something about the spinach helps it like make sense in the thing, because you're used to like a spinach or a cream spinach or something like that. It feels like it melds it into the vegetables. Like it's the introduction of the vegetables in the cream.
Yes.
It's the spinach.
My finger's his napkin, by the way. So you approve of this soup?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think this is a phenomenal winter soup. In fact, it's the perfect soup for winter because it's white like the snow outside. If you want to put some Mel Torme on in the background when you make this, I'd understand, and you'd hear some white crispness going. Is that Mel Torme or is that Crosby?
Bing Crosby.
Bing Crosby. Did Mel Torme cover it?
I mean, a lot of people cover it.
All right, they all did. I sang, I'm dreaming of some white minestrone. Now I covered it.
I would play
But I
Burl
changed the
Ives.
lyrics. Burl Ives? All right, Burl Ives. Not Milton Berle. No.
Burl Ives.
Oh, okay. Burl.
Big Daddy.
Oh, yeah. Well, I think Milton Berle can go by that name too. All right. So so Richard approves, and
Sorry, that took me a second.
Richard approves. I certainly approve, and I really hope and think you will approve as well. White minestrone is better than owning a pony. It's that good. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Oh, I have cookbooks. Hang on.
I had a pony.
I have cookbooks. I've written 4 right now that you can get. 4, anywhere books are sold. They're all Instant Pot cookbooks, and they all have soup chapters, and they have meat chapters, and pasta chapters, and rice chapters, and chicken chapters, and sides chapters, and dessert chapters, and you name it, they're there. And all these books, and they're all super easy. You don't ever have, you could have never cooked a day in your life, and you could be cooking like a pro in no time. Just follow my instructions, so easy. Check me out at facebook.com/PressureLoveCooking. Make sure you like that page. Anytime a new recipe comes out, deals and item tips. If you want to laugh maybe a little bit, and I make fun of myself all the time, have fun making fun of me with me, whatever. And at Pressure Love Cooking on all the other socials. Thank you so much for watching, and the next time you want to make a soup that is really comforting throughout the night, try my minestrone, whether it's red or this time, white. Enjoy.